All right. Are we live? Yeah, we are live. Good morning. On this beautiful October the 9th, 2025, Powell has spoke. Markets have accepted. Pre-market, we have SPY up. Pre-market at a 673.27. QQQ 611.27. It says down pre-market, but just a little bit. We have a trade plan today. As usual, it's best to always have a trade plan. Always have a trade plan when you are trading. It gives you some type of direction to go from somewhere. No one has a crystal ball. We don't know what's going on, so that's important to have notes, and that's what we do. We take notes over here. Yesterday we had Fed minutes at 2, Trump at 3. Trump at 3 really didn't mean anything. No Fed minutes. We ran up all day. Pre-market we had a 668. 99 high with a 670.50 low. I was going to wait to put this 0 in. High of 673, low of 669. We opened at 670. We closed at 673. It was a big day yesterday. Yesterday was really good. Here's our time, but it was just up, 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 rejection, but up, rejection, run up, jerk, up, up, up. It was just up, up, up. So that's the point. Time watch is fairly new. Uh, what I'm doing, I have something new for today. I'm going to show those uh, later on, those data points later on. But you should definitely have your pre-market. Today, we have SPY, a high of 673.71, a low of 672.59 so far on the SPY. For the QQQ, pre-market, we had a high of 612.24 and a low of 610.66. Did we go under that print? I'll double check that print. They matter. All right. We have no high, no low today. No open, no close. Okay. Jay Powell spoke. That was positive. And today we are masking up no unemployment claims data. So today we're supposed to have unemployment claims data, but we don't. All right, now we have a watch list. Today we do have a watch list, okay? Although we are trading SPY and QQQ, I just added QQQ to be another permanent addition to a ticker that I'm looking at. So we are not only trading SPY constantly, it's going to be QQQ. So we're going to be looking to snipe any contracts from either of those two places. But outside of that, we are looking at Tesla and Nvda to the upside, both of them, especially Nvda. I'll put 2 arrows up next to that. AMD, we're looking for upside on AMD, but the best trade for AMD will be a pullback. So we're going to look for AMD to pull back a little bit. We're not going to put too much time, spend too much attention to it, because today the big trade will be Nvidia. So we definitely want to play Nvidia, like big time. That's going to probably be our opening beak wetter, Nvidia. We're just going to get that out the way so you can know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm going to do with SPY QQQ yet. I may wait. Ding ding. All right, we have roughly about 10 minutes. I was just wasting so much time earlier when I knew I should have been getting some food together. But I wanted to, see what Powell was doing and everything. But, I should have just got my food together earlier. Now I'm going to be starving. I have drink, of course. I have something to drink. I got me a coconut Red Bull. So I'll be slipping on that. All right. It is 9:20. Give me a few minutes.
because the other things in the market don't add up. What we're seeing in the bond market doesn't necessarily indicate that. So, like, how do you read all of that?
Here's the thing. When you're going into gold and you say why, there is no why. It's a commodity. It's a hard currency.
So it's like Bitcoin.
You buy it. It has no value. I mean, I love the look. If you've ever seen a real gold bar, it's mesmerizing, and you're just like, I understand why I have to buy this gold.
Your little gold panda.
Your little gold panda bear. It is mesmerizing. But in all seriousness, gold is just a trade. It's always been a trade. It is a store of value over very, very long periods of time. But so when you ask somebody, why are you in gold? You're saying justify earning something that collects dust and keeps its store of value over multiple decades, not multiple years. And so they have to say debasement because they see it on TV. And it's like, I've been hearing debasement since the early 80s.
Right.
And you say, oh, it's an inflation hedge. Really? 1980s, 1990s, all gold does is go down when inflation is much higher than it is today? Don't give me that stuff, right? It has to do with central bank positioning. It has to do with retail traders. And it has to do with just regular traders. One last thing about gold. It spikes up and then breaks hearts for years. Stocks make everybody happy for years, make Nvda go up, make me money for years, and then it spikes down.
Right.
So gold has the opposite reactions in the way that it goes up and down. So you have to remember, right, if you're going to trade gold like you trade stocks, you're doing it the opposite way. And so what's happening is people are glomming onto it when it's going up parabolic. They don't realize you're going to hold this thing and it's going to float sideways, if not down, for many, many years to come.
Okay, so we've talked enough about something that you don't even want to own.
I've owned in the past.
So what do you like? What are you excited about right now? What do you think that people should be looking at that they're not?
Oh my word. Liberation Day losers.
Yeah.
I mean, I just screen for everything that's down since Liberation Day. Some because they have to do with the political or trade war. Some have nothing to do with that. I love Trade Desk, right? Trade Desk, Liberation Day loser. You know, everybody's concerned about Amazon DSP. It's their ad selling platform. You've had, Amazon is a small competitor to Trade Desk, and Trade Desk won't even acknowledge them as competitors. But you're selling ad-supportive stuff in streaming TV. We call it CTV, and that doesn't stand for cable TV. It's just CTV is just not watching streaming on your phone or tablet. It's on something called a TV set for the young people. That's half of revenues for Trade Desk. They're still the independent, credible place to buy.
Oh snap! Cam's on. What's the name? I gotta see that.
Bringing you up-to-the-minute geopolitical news whenever and wherever it happens. I'm David Gura in Alberta, Canada, and this is Bloomberg.
All right, we can get that out of here. All right, let's find some. Damn, look at that pre-market action, boy. Oh my goodness. So let me look at my rules, by the way. So every day I do like to go over my different notes. So let's go over the notes, especially in the area and zone, because there's a All right, it's 9:28. Let's start opening up these terminals. All right, let's wait. We're at all-time high. We have a gap up open, but it's a very small gap. So this is going to be a very small gap and go. Very small gap and go. All right, QQQ is doing something different. Nvda is, sheesh, gap up like a mother. Let's bring you out so we can actually see you. Uh, I didn't get any of those Nvidias. I tried to get those Nvidias. I couldn't get them. Them Jones are crazy right now. Them Jones are crazy. Nvidia could be filling the gap and then going, but we're gonna watch it. We're gonna look at some QQQ levels as well. Refresh. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's that. All right, I still don't have a QQQ. All right, what's going on with Nvidia? Nvidia's still dropping. Let me put you on the one so I can. We're not really worrying about that too much. We're gonna keep these two right here. You got a gap. You got a. Of course, you got a gap. You always got a gap. All right, we got something small going on. We're gonna wait for a pullback. That's you. That's you. That's you. I don't have you, but it's cool. You're pulling back. So we're gonna let QQQ calm down. QQQ pre-market levels, a high of 612 and a low of 610. Okay, so we are at our 610 area. So we're gonna let these play out. What am I looking at for QQQ? Yeah, we're waiting right now. We are waiting for. We're gonna wait for like a little pullback here. We have these measured out. This is just. Ooh, there's a good chance. All right, we are very bullish today. We are very bullish today. QQQ. All right. SPY is looking very strong, very bullish right now. So, from what I know, we don't have any data points coming in today. Today is nothing but just data. I mean, just trading. So, all right. So right now, these calls are all down, all of them. We'll take one of you. We got a beak wetter on QQQ. This 613. And we're just going to wait. Nvidia. Nvidia is looking to fill the gap. It looks like QQQ. That's ugly. But we are still bullish overall. So, according to my notes, I got in a little bit too early on my 613. We're going to see if we hit that level. Oh, wow, we're right there. All right, Nvidia is looking for that gap fill. Nvidia is definitely looking for that gap fill. So I was a little bit too early on those Nvidias, of course, because I seen the gap fill and I hit the button and I shouldn't have did that. But it's so strong. Everything is so strong. So we gotta wait. So although this is going SPY, it did hit the gap. You know what? We got some money out there right now. We got some beak wetters. All right, SPY is trying to go positive. SPY is definitely fighting to go positive. Ugh. So this QQQ is all right. So it hit the level that I was supposed to buy in at right here. All right. So I got dinged for being early. Let's see how much we're gonna get dinged. I'm not gonna. All right. I think I might let this go because I don't want to. We got a direction. All right. This is a big. Got Nvidia. Those are videos. Those are videos are surprisingly back and good. So I got out of that trade. All right, a little bit too early. A little bit too early. Well, I'm just not gonna watch this. All right, so we thought this was going down. It didn't. I still have my Nvidias. Although we think this is going to go up, I don't want to bleed out on those contracts. So we want to preserve income, even because, what if it lags all day? You know, there's going to be a time that I'm going to get into a put, and that's going to pay for that particular call for that little bit of percent. But let's wait for all this trash to go. So this gap, so it's no longer kissed. It went through it. So SPY's gap is all right. So this is an important level. We need a higher low right here. So we need this to, because this is dropping more. This has a gap to fill. So if this has the gap to fill, then this is going to go down more. This is the true gap. That's the true gap. What, how much were these? Okay, so they didn't get to the point. Yeah, right. Am I looking at the wrong? Am I looking at the right thing? Yeah, I'm looking at the right thing. All right, we're still dropping. All right, my Nvidias are eating. All right, so we're eating from our Nvidias. Bet, bet. We're eating on our Nvidias. So the longer, oh wow, you see, I'm so happy I got out of those other trades. So happy I got out of those other trades because it's like, why even go through that? Why even go through that? So we have a lot to go through, and Nvidia is eating right now. My Nvidias are doing really nice. All right, Nvidia is bleeding out more. SPY is dropping. Let me jump into some SPY. Um, okay, we're at 72. We're looking for support. We're looking for support. Today is 10/9, looking 10/8, 72. So we went through that. There's levels. High, 10/6 high. We went through that high. We went through 10/3 high just now, right? 672. Yeah, we blew through that. 72. Wow. We're going through some levels right now. We're going through some levels right now. I thought they were going to do something like this too. Damn, I should have been better prepared. Well, for the downside, I was looking for the upside. So who thought that the downside was going to go? My Nvidias are doing really well, 76%, 28%, 80%. My Nvidias are really picking up right now. They're about to hit 100%. Nice. I'm happy I even opened up those other ones too on the other side. So we are green for the day. Those other trades were anything losing on that side, but I could have kept them, but I didn't want to keep them. All right, so we're breaking out on Nvidia. That's crazy. Maybe the spy and all right, we're gonna put out some beak waters right now. My Nvidias are at 100%. All right, our watch list is coming into play. We went deeper than that. We went cheaper than that. Nope, that's almost on the money. 673. No, it says we have more to go. It says we have more to go. Now's a good time for maybe what's the name? Nvidia is really going. Very happy about that. I could have missed out on that QQQ beak wetter, but we are going to wet the beak. We hit a high of 612.24 on QQQ. You see, now look at what Nvidia is doing. All right, so I'm back in SPY, back in QQQ, and I'm in Nvidia, and I have a little beak wetter on Tesla. My Nvidias are over 100% right now. Um, that's nice. I have I have a couple of those, and I have some of the other ones too. I have three of those because I seen that move, and I'm like, yo, I gotta get more. Like, there's no way I cannot get more. But I shouldn't even let these get 100%. These are 104. We want to see what happened with that green candle. I'm gonna probably, I think I should probably buy more, right? All right, I'm 128% on these Nvidia calls. These are crazy. All right, I mean, I should just be leaning in on Nvidia. All right, I'm at 170%. My other plays hit 100% on Nvidia. I just opened up a new play up 13%. All right, my QQQ is at 25%. All right, we're kind of heavy today, guys. We're kind of in it. So we found this Nvidia. Hopefully, this Nvidia can um, go to a certain point. We are Hmm. So it seems like right now Nvidia is going inverse with the SPY. So I did actually trim some of those positions. I sold, but I definitely made money on them. Right here, I'm going to put a stop loss. All right, I'm putting in a tight stop loss. All right, we're we're done. We're done over there. I'm gonna. Oh wow, I was stopped out. Woo! Those stops are nice, babies. Make your money. All right, so we are dropping. We're gonna keep dropping. We're gonna prop. What? I think I heard something. Something is happening at like 12 or 11. So we could just drop until 10. I'm sorry. Let me get my shit together. It's 9:55. All right, so here's today's notes. 10:09, Powell 8:30. We have something else here. SPY. Here's our levels. Levels for SPY and QQQ. We just added this section that's going to be new. I have to put in our opens for both of them. Here's our SPY calls, our SPY puts. Um, right now we are dropping. Here's our time watch right here. Our time watch, we fumbled. We dropped 940. Jerky. But we were fishing at all-time highs right there. I we don't know what this is. I'm happy I got out of my Nvidias. I sold everything up at the top. We made really good money on those. All right, so let's look at our levels now. No, it says we're supposed to go down more for that one. What about 47? Same thing for that one. Oh, but we gotta see. All right, we wait. Fuck, what's going on with Tesla? Tesla ain't doing shit. All right, we don't know where this. We don't know what's gonna stop dropping. Oh, this is look. Here go legs right here. This is leg measuring leg. Look, leg down further. This could be another leg. This could be another leg. Oh yeah, my puts. Oh no, fuck. Fuck. I should have been looking at these puts. Because these puts, this one only has a little bit more to go before the reversal. This is what it says. So we're going to see what my notes are really saying. All right, that just hit that level. All right, it hit it. It actually went one above it, but we're about to see. Is this the bottom? So I think technically on my notes are telling me, well, that's for that level right there. But over here in the calls, I'm looking for 7, it's off a little bit. 73, 47. That's pretty much on the money. The 74, 26, 29. That's pretty much on the money. All right, we're gonna see. All right, so we should have seen how much I should have stuck to my notes rather than going on what I'm looking at. Mm. I should have stuck to my notes. Holy shit. Yep. Yep. Should have stuck to my notes. Holy crap. All right. Trump comes live in 1 hour. So Trump is at 11. I didn't fucking know this. Trump at 11. This is the bottom of my levels right here. Because I couldn't sweat those contracts. I really couldn't sweat how much rents, they went down. They go down so much. It's like you just really gotta chill on that shit. Like really gotta chill. Wow, these puts are killing it too. I just don't wanna. All right, 10 o'clock mark, we went lower. 10 drop. I'm so happy I got out of my Nvidias. Wow. I would have been mad, but I couldn't just sit there and watch me just make money and not participate in making money. Mm. All right, Trump's on at 11. That direction leading into is going to be the direction. That could have been a trap. Mm. Nvidia is still moving? No, a little bit. Wow, those contracts that I had, wow, sick. Sick, sick, sick. Ooh, what is Soxelt doing? threes. Pops! Hello? Eve! What you doing? No, I got my headphones. I'm working, man. What's going on? All right, let's figure out what's going on. We're looking for the right entry. This looks like a good, but we don't want to jump in there crazy. We're range bound. We're in a nasty range. That sucks. We're in a nasty range. That's crazy. That's crazy. Sheesh, look at that. Yeah, they're taking back some levels. Hmm. They are pushing this thing lower. What are my QQQ puts looking like right now? Hmm. I think I'm going to do that. So Tesla still has a gap filled to attempt. But we should have knew today was going to be a heavy red day because we had a really, really green day the past couple of days. So we should have knew that. We were we were being greedy. You know, sometimes they say it's good to be a pig. You don't want to be a hog. That's a fine line sometimes, you know. We are back on the money side of things. And you know what? We're gonna go crazy tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna go crazy. All right, we're back on the money team. It took us a little bit to find our way, but then it start putting some logic into stuff, man. It's like, sheesh. All right, we're back to printing. So this is why you want to worry about that first trade. This is the first trade. This is the first move right here. We're clear for a couple minutes. We're going into another section right now. Trump's not coming on for another like 2 hours. It's gonna probably be an hour, hour and a half. So let's just print. We're gonna put our stop losses up, but it's still early. It's still early. let's go. You know, you can't fight the trend. Well, overall, we are bullish. But yesterday we had a big run up yesterday, and then we also gapped up in the morning. So that is a double whammy. Those puts are putting right now on the watch list. In the morning, we had a really good trade on Nvda. So we're going to run tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to be a run day. So tomorrow is going to be a payday tomorrow. Look at all those traps. That's all right. You see, when you're making money, that's when it start getting boring. You know, the excitement part is you're making money. Whoa. All right. We're hitting big percents now. We're hitting big percents now. So, a problem that I see myself having, if we're being honest, in my trading is I know the direction. I know where we're going to go, you know? And a lot of times when you go through all my videos and everything, you'll see that. You'll hear that. But then sometimes I forget about uh fundamentals through the play, or maybe I just need to slow everything down. Like we ran yesterday and we ran the other day. Well, today is the cool off day. The data and everything doesn't really matter too much. The government shutdown, yes, that matters, but that's just in the scope that we're in. I know there's gaps that need to be filled. I know we have to go for the gaps. Sometimes I go against that, but it's the actual trade. So if I know we're going to go for a gap, we need to go for a gap. You can just easily just open up a two-legged spread, and then you're going to see the trend immediately. You're going to see the trend where we're going to go. Now you do need to get the right contract. All right, so we get a spike on the VIX. A spike in the VIX means that we're dumping on the SPY. All right, so the thing about the downside, let me get a stop loss. I'm gonna put a stop loss on these. Let's we're gonna put a really tight stop loss on one. That's not even that tight. We're gonna keep that tight. Over here, we're gonna keep this tight. We still have some time to go. So we're still going in the general same direction. When it comes to the SPY, you see, this means nothing. We had 2 minutes. We had a couple minutes of fighting back there, back there. But they're rinsing some levels right here. They're rinsing some levels. And it's like when you're in when trade that trend, and stop trying to fight the trend. If we're going in that same, go in that way. You don't have enough money to do something else. So I'm going to be able to stop these. I can move this. We can replace this because these are spiking big time. We can move this to 60 now. That is a big difference though, but I mean, we're doing something. All right, so I'm happy I got rid of that Tesla because that Tesla, the Tesla wasn't doing anything. I bought it, and it was teetering between +5 and 3%, and then it went minus like 11%. Then I just got out of it. I got out of it a while ago. It dropped a lot since then. Like, I just got that out. But this morning we made really good money from Nvda. We made really good money with Nvda. And we're making some good money right now. We make some real good money right now. And the thing is, this isn't even. We're gonna put. We're gonna tighten this one. So we're gonna do another tightening. One that I guess 65 now. No, 68. 70 now. 0.7. That's crazy. All right, we probably won't actually. No. This one. All right. So we are. So this is spiking big time. This is picking up speed. Hopefully we can get like a gamma push. Ooh. I was stopped out right there. I don't want to really mess with these stop losses because I'm even putting a big uh so the one contract is worth 85. It was worth 85 and it was bouncing between like 75, 85. And then I when I bumped up my stop loss, it hit that bump. It's like really wide. So these contracts go up to like 80 something. I got them for really cheap. I doubled my money. I think I hit like 200%, 400% on it when it comes to the numbers. On the other puts, I'm only up 50%. I have a few of those, but they're real numbers. So, you know, I don't know. I think we're good. So we made money. We're making money. Money's been made. Every day I just really honestly just want to grow the account by like 4% every day. Now that's a moving 4% because it compounds, so about 4% every day. Nothing crazy, 4%. You see, I got stumped right out of that. I got stuck right out of that. That's crazy. That's crazy. 100 something percent. Yeah, we moving down. I'm not selling these. Once we get certain in the money and everything, am I in the money? Yeah, these are getting in the money. If you're following my watch list, you definitely made money. You're making like mad bread. You're making mad bread on these puts. Like mad bread right now. So congratulations to you. what is AMD doing? I just remembered that shit. Damn! What did I tell you? AMD puts, baby. Damn! That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, we're going lower. All right. And we print more. And we are printing. All right, we're over 100%. I open up some new positions, up 10% on those too. Yeah, we're riding them. We're setting. We're gonna probably set them and forget them. So we have Trump coming on at 11. Uh, of course he's gonna be late. He's gonna mess with the market, and then that's when we may want to start looking for some sells. Right now, we are gonna fall some more. As I say that, we're fall some more. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So we're gonna probably hang on to these contracts. I definitely sold my other ones a lot too early. But you know what? That I just locked in. I mean, but even then, I locked them in at like 87% on both of them. I had a few on each, and I got rid of one on each. So we're still riding. Uh, but we are printing 130%, 40%. Yo, we're printing, baby. We're printing. We we are printing. We're printing today. All right, we didn't print yesterday. We print yesterday, but we didn't print like this yesterday. Look at that. What kind of move is that? I top tick that bad boy. Mm, mm. All right, we ride, baby. Yeah. All right, this could be the reverse. That could be the bottom. We don't know, but all right, we got one hanging. got some hanging. Wow, that's sick. Well, people, I hope you're making money. I did. Uh, Here's our levels. If you have any questions about these levels, let me know. About the levels and everything, let me know. Here's our time watch. We still dropping. We had a little bit of jerk come in here. We're in this area currently. So this can be support right here. 669.97. Believe it or not, there's a point under this too. 666. That 666 is still in play. That's still $4. That's still $4. Can you imagine that? $4 more after we already dropped 350 already. Damn near $4 already. All right, we sold. We didn't sell at the bottom, but we sold about right there. We sold about right there. All right. This could be the bottom. So this is where we got the structure change. Structure change at 47. 1047. Run up, low of day. 669. 97. 97. All right. So if you want to look for the upside in the market, right now would be the time to do it. Unless that was a nasty bull trap. Nasty bull trap. All right. Oh, you know what? I still want to. All right. So right now, if you want to buy anything, the 672s, they're a good price for a regular individuals. $46 is under $50. If you wanted to spend a little bit more money, the 71s, the 671s, you can maybe start looking at those. Um, the 673s could also bode well. We don't know what's going to happen for the rest of the day or anything like that. I don't know. We don't know. But if this is the bottom and we're looking to V, they're going to be lovely. This the 672s are going to move. Of course, the 671s are going to move too, but they were affordable. They were $48, $46 when I was suggesting them. Now they're $50. You know, so now you see how every time I was given yesterday, I gave an example of a car in theta. Well, when it comes to the deltas, the gammas, do they have the gammas over there? No, they don't have gammas. Over, I was looking over here, see if they had gammas. No. But when it comes to the price, and if you look at the contract, that's above the money, they're going to move with that dollar as as the derivative move, whatever derivative derivative you're looking at, that at the money contract is going to move with it, like to the point. So that's going to be every tick. Everything under that is also going to be a tick. All right, so this is a test. I mean, this is very scary because a lot of people could have gotten trapped right there if this is a bull trap. A bull trap is, oh, we think it's bullish, but it's a trap. We're going lower. You see, the first trade of the day is usually and generally the clean channel. And those are the trades we're looking for. You know, because now you can buy contracts cheap and then get in the direction, and then you want to load amount of, you want to load up into it. It depends on the zones, it depends on the time frame, it depends on the data that's set to release. Like yesterday, Trump at 3, that was nothing. That was bullshit. Ouch. Oh no, no ouch. That's good. That's good. This could be what you're looking for a pullback breakout. We pulled back, and now we're looking to break out up. So you see, but we've seen this before. We've seen this before. They did this before. They tried. It got weaker, but this is big resistance. This is big resistance. This is a test. This is a test of this level right here. Check the Mac. You see, we were bearish back there. That's easy money. See, this is easy. That's the easy money trade in the beginning of the day. Hindsight, but that first trade of the day is the easy trade. Easy trade. Easy channel, easy direction. So we want to look at the MACDs because we want to see if we're leaving bearish territory into bullish territory. And this is what the histogram is for down here. We want the when it's bullish, we want the MACD to be over the signal, but here is bearish. The signal is over the MACD. They're starting to converge, so we can go. We can be clearing out of this. That's why they're coming together and going green, going into. You see, on the daily, we should still be bullish. This is today right here. We're a little bit bearish today. Bullish, bullish. Oh wow. Well, uptrend. We're still up. All right, here we go. So those contracts are looking nice. They're at 59 cents right now. You know, we got in there at like 40, 46, 48. Now each contract, uh, they're worth about 59 cents each. You see, 46 to 59 is real quick, man. You either get a really good entry or you get a bad entry. You know, that's why it's important to get the bottoms. You know, because I mean, I bought some calls here. Of course, I bought calls here. I bought calls here. You see, I was trying to buy, but it was no, it was no, it was no. What I should have done is maybe buy a put because we know that we open up, so we got to fill the gap. So that's when I immediately should have opened up puts because we know we got to fill the gap. You know, it could have been a gap and go a couple days this week. It's been a gap up, go, a gap up. Sometimes not even a retest of the gap. But that first trade, clean trade, clean trade. I didn't enter my puts into about maybe like right here's maybe, and I still got 100+% on mine. So I mean, if you got the whole WAP, you definitely got 200+% on those. We are going down again. You know, testing it out, but you know, he's looking for a channel. You know, maybe this is just a test right here. You know, but you were up in enough profit to let it wiggle waggle. You know, if you got them for like if you got those contracts for like 20 something, because down here these contracts were worth 20 something. You know, you didn't buy them until 40 something. And now they're 62 cents each. You know, you see, it's entries like that. That's very important. So like, yeah, you know, we're not trying to necessarily catch a falling knife, but we're trying to find the low so we can ride the wave up. And when you get the right levels, you get the right prices, then you start riding waves. Because now these contracts are 64 and we're only at 6671.59. We opened at 673. So can you imagine putting a whole $2 and like 50 cents on top of that strike price? That would be damn near 450. This contract instantly goes up to $180, 190, teetering, teetering to the 250 point, you know? So if we go up there, you're gonna see if I know what I'm talking about. If not, then you know, but you're gonna see I know what I'm talking about. Oh, you can just go to simulate. Simulate returns. If SPY get to 73.74, what did I say? Estimated contract price 198. Estimated profit loss plus 137. You see? I fucking know exactly what I'm talking about. That's crazy. I know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. And if this thing even try to make a high of like, if we try and go, okay, so that would be attacking our all-time highs. Yeah, that contract could go crazy, crazy, crazy. You know, but that's how you price up the contracts and everything. You know, it's a strike price. You know, you have to move them up. Same thing with the contracts in like 100 lots. I used to trade a lot of 100 lots. 100 lots is where you can write cover calls, will, stuff like that. That's the money. That is the money. Yeah, but remember, I'm not in anything right now. I already made my money. I already made my money. My money's made. I prefer to play the early trade than the later trade. I'm gonna stay for like maybe like a half an hour and then go on with the rest of my day. Well, I mean, it's not easy to make money, but it's easy. It's so fucking easy. I'm sorry. I'm just sending some messages and everything. All right. I did kill Nvidia in the morning. I killed him. I took that shit in the morning. I said, "What?" I sold right there. Let me see who wants to trade this. Who wants to trade this stuff? Who wants to put up with that? It's gonna be an easy trade tomorrow too. We're gonna see how today finish out, but it's gonna probably be an easy trade. Mm, mm. You know what? I'd rather be, I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna just trade in the morning, man. That morning trade is such a easy, sweet trade. Easy, sweet trade. Oh my God, who wants to deal with this, man? Who wants to deal with that, bro? You don't have to trade all day. You don't have to be at the computer all day. And that's what I'm starting to really learn and understand. Because it's like, if you take however much you're able to spend in trading, and if every day, you find a channel and you can not even 200%, you can just 100%. Well, that's double. 200 is actually quad. Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. Because 200 is easy to get. It's really easy to get. How can I fucking even explain this without even sounding? I don't know. Every day you can fucking one and a half your money at least. But I mean that's really risky. But I mean 4%, 4% is shit. I mean I don't even know why I said 4% before. Everyday day trading, you should be able to do something crazy like that. And that's crazy. That's crazy. And that's what I'm really starting to understand is that every day your day trading account, you can one and a half, 2x that bitch. And on certain days, you can. So I'm starting to get in there. I'm starting to learn it. I'm seeing it every day. I'm seeing it every day. I'm experiencing it every other day. I know how to find them. I know how to pin them. It's just bang bang. But who wants to trade this? Look at all this. Who wants to trade this? Look how easy this is. That's easy. That's easy. We gapped up, go to fill a gap. If not, gap and go, boom. You know, because even when you have your certain contracts, you can just pivot off and go from there. But when you see those puts put in, what are you gonna do? Although we are in the uptrend, there's going to be small pockets of the week that's we're going to have to retrace. We're going to have to go down. You can't just keep going up. There has to be a point, you know, that we're going to get, you have to go down, because at some point in time, someone bought in at a low level and it got to a high level, so it has to sell. That's why, no one keeps stock forever, you know. Maybe the company, maybe the company. But look, who wants to trade that shit? Look at that. I'd rather double my money on that small joint rather than later on. Now for day to days, you can, maybe do something, but look, that that's crazy. Like that's a lot. That is a lot. Now this can be another measuring leg on the long term, because now these support channels are changing. So now the calls, if you bought any calls back there, those calls, that was a bull trap. Whoa, we gotta finish the cycle. We're still in the cycle. What time is it? 11:25. We're still in the cycle. People think you need like so much money. When you know what you're doing, but it takes a while for you to learn what you're doing and for you to know what you're doing. There's people you want to listen to that don't know what they're doing. Then there's people that you don't want to listen to that knows exactly what you're doing, and you already felt as a trader right there, you know, emotion, not logic, and you deserve it. You deserve to lose. There's a famous saying in trading, and it's KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. I'm not going to keep listening to someone that doesn't help me make money and don't, and all they're doing is just making money. Well, because you're the product, and a lot of people don't understand that they're just a product. There's so many YouTubers that you're the product. You're not there to get enriched with anything valuable. They're not going to tell you where to make money, how to make money, none of that. But they want you to subscribe. They want you to get that Discord subscription. They want you to pay for this and that subscription. Man, look, bro, you better make that money. You better make that money. Yeah, I don't like today isn't like a good day for that. Like I have my days, I have my notes. I have my notes and my notes, there are days when it's just well, no matter what you do, it's going to work. And I know those days and I know those contracts. And it's sick. Those days you just won't lose and crazy. I mean, stop talking about that. It's crazy. But at least like now I can record my genius and people can go to it at later times and learn something and also hopefully they can add to it as well. Because I do believe in homework and knowledge is the true currency. Money is a currency, uh, but knowledge, that's the true currency. And I like to share what I know, but I want, people to share what they know too. I don't want to race with what we know or measure up. I want to take what I know, what you know, and then make the best logical decision moving forward because that's the fucking smart thing to do. Yeah, don't be an idiot. Don't be a fucking idiot. Yeah, well, I am going. That's crazy. You see? So when it comes to now you're out this channel, now we're trading, you know, now how do you play this? Cuz of course, if you're looking for upside, if you didn't buy here, you bought here. If you didn't buy here, you were looking to buy here and this is what they were catching. They were catching all these bulls. All those bulls got caught. All those bulls got caught. And then look. Stop losses. Stop losses. Stop losses. That's what they are. Stop losses. Stop losses. These are the bears. This is going up. The reason why this is shooting up like this. Stop losses. Stop losses. Stop losses. Stop losses. Stop losses. You know, the rate on both sides. You know, this you have to let this play out. I wouldn't get into a play right here. If you're looking for something to the upside, uh This is lower day. It's attacking lower day. Lower day is 669.97. You're 70 something cents away. It looks like a. They could be creating a range. This can be like the top end, and maybe we can see what the bottom end is going to go, because we were coming down. And then we hit that channel. You see, this is clean. Well, not clean. Y'all clean enough. Yeah, that's clean. Down, down, pop. This hurt. Because they got me out. They got me out. Boom. They got me out. Other people out. Other people out. All right. I don't think we are anywhere near this. Well, we're so close. But we do got to get a little bit closer. You see, this hammer is too big. The hammer's too big. That's not a hammer cannon. Although we did get a clear shot up. I don't think that's a hammer candle. That's too big. Too big of a body. Too big of a body. Not big of a tail. Too much come out the other side for this to be a shooting star. To shoot this thing down. Like, I don't think that's sufficient. I don't think that's sufficient. This is just driving something else. But now, intraday, now you're trading channels. This is a channel. This is one channel right here. Boom. Boom. Also, look at the time of day. It's 11:34. So we're looking for a structure change. 11:34. So we're in the second half of the day. Second half of the day. We already got past all this. We jerk, we drop. 9:40, drop. 10 a.m., harder drop. Drop, drop, drop. 10:47. They had some run up. This is the 10:47. Pop. 10, 11, 16, 11, 17, drop. Not 11 a.m., but 11:17. Drop. We want to pick up on these daily ranges so we can understand. Over here yesterday, what did we do yesterday? 9:30 we ran up. 9:40 check up upward. 10 a.m. That's a big time structure. All right. We have our important time frames. Important time frames. Oh, this was yesterday. Oh, I should have done that over here. All right, I have to update that. But run up, we had a little rejection. Run up, so upward, buying point upward, buying point upward. So that's a good way to help you understand where you are in because we're going into 11:38. We're going to the 12 time frame. Look at this. They're trying bring it back to the lower day. You see, but if you would have, you see, that's hard. Like, how do you get there? You can't buy every candle. Buy sell every candle. But what they were doing, they crushed all those calls from yesterday. Look at the 672 right now. I thought this was going to be a good buying opportunity. Where's my phone? We want to take a look at this SPY. This 72. They were at 209 like yesterday and whatever. And I was okay with buying these at this price. No, this was the price. No, this was the price I was okay with buying them at right here. These puts. My watch list. The 670s. As of right now, this is 64 bucks. These are down. These are down. Why are they? Because we're not doing nothing, that's why. Okay, this just hurt them right there. All right, so these guys are down. These are 669, right? Yeah. All right, so as of right now, these are 35 cents. The 668, 21 cents. 21 cents. Ooh, then 667, 28 cents. Now 15 cents. So the put, the one good put is the 670 for today. So even through all this, nope, because these have to have gone up. So we're trying to figure out which cycle we're in. Are we? You see, that was the first one, pop. We did this all the way until 11:46. 9:30, 11:46. So hour 15, about roughly a half an hour. 45 minutes. What is this? Yeah, it's just SPY. This the one. 11:17. 35. So this thing was moving. This thing was moving. I wish I would have seen that. So then I can, you see, so watching the trades now, I would say would allow you to learn how to trade better in the future. And this is why I always, I always want to stay on and learn what's going on. You have to look at the contracts. It's good to pay attention to the movements and everything too. Interesting. Interesting. So right now they are burning all those calls, but as you can see, on well from my notes, you see Trump was supposed to come on at 11. He's not even on yet at 11. He's late. But even from the notes, it's by 670. When was the last time you seen a 670 print? 670 high or low? 670 high. This is Tuesday. This is 10-2. This is Tuesday. That was the last. That was the last one. 670. 670. No. 670. No. No. They took out some levels today. Yo, they took out some levels today. Do you not understand tomorrow? Tomorrow is going to be. Tomorrow is going to be lit. Now tomorrow is going to probably be a big day because what we're seeing here is after a big move, you know, the market or the underlying contracts and consolidate and do all that stuff. You know, the only thing it's doing is catching its breath because remember, it just went on a run. What do you do after you run? You take a breather, you take a breath, you chill out, you know, and if you still got some steam in you, what are you going to do? You're going to keep running. You're going to go on your run again. You know, you took your rest. You had a day of working out. You know, we work out one day, we rest another day. We work out one day, we rest another day. This is our rest day. If our rest day from the current trend, which is upward, we're still going to go upward. You know, here's our hourly. That's the 4. You see? Here's our daily. We're still, what is this? Sheesh. All right. So what is this? The daily, you know? See, we're still going up slightly. We're still going up. Up is up. We're still going up. You know, here's a big run right here. When was this? This was 924. You know, we're waiting for another one of these or one of these. 1, 2. Yeah, you just wake up, open up puts. Wake up, open up puts. Wake up, open up puts. Jerk. They got jerked that second day. No, they didn't. They got sort of jerked. But even then, it was still some. Cause there was a lot of buying. There's a lot of buying down here. A lot of selling up here. What took a while? When did it start really recovering though? 424. About 20 days. Roughly about 20 days. About 20 days on that big drop. 560, 47. Yeah, that's a big. All right. All right, what are we going? So that's a cycle right there. Boom. So if you had any type of short right there, you you could have gotten out like around here for like some good profit maybe. You know, but I don't like these small channels. I don't like to trade these channels. I'd rather trade a nice clean channel. This isn't clean. That isn't clean. This is a leg, a measuring leg right there. But that's smaller. Why is the yang down here? Let's put the UVIX right there. So people are, I don't know, people are hoping that the we're going to hit a V. That could be a V. I mean, they're rinsing these calls. These calls are rinsed. It would need one heck of a run if we're looking for something over there. Yeah, I'm happy I just made my money early today. I don't want to trade this stuff. This is so sloppy, all this stuff. I don't want to trade. In the morning, believe it or not, if you're trading, when you like get better. Do I have anyone in here? Ugh. Hey, what's up? Is anyone in here? Do I have anyone in chat? I think I see people coming like in and out and everything. Sloppy channel. Yeah, that's always the gamble. Usually the first move of the day is the best move of the day. And that first trade is usually like the purest. Uh, they cook the Bulls. Now they're about to cook the Bears, but the Bears are already cooked. Like those contracts, like on a day like this, I would have been I was scrambling instead of just following the trend. I was trying to be cute. Just play your fucking charts, play your strategy. Well, your strategy can be wrong. Follow the trend. Your strategy can easily be wrong. Follow the trend. My strategy was on the money, on the point. Only thing I didn't do was just buy those puts in the morning. I did everything else but buy those puts in the morning. putting the SPY in a range. You have your bottom range and you have your top range. That top range can break out, but that's the top. That bottom range can break through, but that's resistance or support. They're giving you both your both resistance and support levels right now. Everything out of that, you can play something out of that range. So around maybe like 1 o'clock. What time is it? It's about to hit 12. So maybe around 1 o'clock, you might see a turnaround. Yeah, that morning trade is just the best trade, most efficient trade. Everything else is just a couple weeks ago, I think I traded like everything in the morning and then one day I let a couple of them run and they just they went crazy. But I was already up, but it was that type of environment. I remember that type of environment too. Um that's why it's good to take notes so you can actually remember those environments so you can understand, what's going on around you. Because when you're trading, you're looking at the chart, you're looking at the numbers. You're not really focusing on what's actually going on. You're just in a small little bubble. That bubble is a little bit thicker than your skin. So you're in your little bubble, but there's so much going on the outside, and that's why throughout the day I like to take notes so I can catch up on what I didn't see, on what I missed. And believe it or not, like every day, my trading's been better. My entries have been better. My add-ons for my weight have been better. I've been more conscious. I've been okay with voicing my F ups out loud. Like, you have to break your ego, because once you break your ego, then you can allow the market to just do what the market does. Now you have no emotion. Now it's not like you charted something. Now the charts have to go the same way that your chart went. No, the market don't care about your money. You're literally throwing a pebble of sand into the freaking ocean with your money. Like, that's why people um in crypto, that's why people control the supply and everything. There's a 20 million supply, but they own 5 million. So they say, hey, this is a big hype coin, and they hype it up, and then they get other people to buy up the other 15, 20 million of the coin. Coin goes up, now they start selling and unloading. You see it all the time. You hear it all the time. People go to jail for it all the time. You really can't do that in stocks because it's regulated. But that's why you have people, different companies loading up on shorting a company, short attacks, stuff like that. You know, uh, that's how gamma squeezes and everything are created. So yeah, we see we're right at the top of that range. So if you're day trading this, I mean, like not day trading it, but if you're trading this, like, you know, by the sections or whatever, you got to be careful. Definitely got to get the right contract as well. You know, right now I would mess with nothing but in the money, at the money. But you see, but I've done that before, and it's so easy to get burned because you're at the money. Well, at the money is moving along with the underline, so you're moving up and down with it. So, I mean, without having the clear zone, then that's just bad money. Like it's hard. Like that is definitely difficult. Trading is hard anyway. Day trading is hard anyway. But hunters hunt, and if you're trading, you're hunting. And if you're hunting, you should be watching. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. But I know when I'm looking for a range, if I'm looking to hit 72.50, and we're at like 42, and we got hit 72.50. Well, I'm not necessarily looking for 70. I mean, 72.50. I'm okay with 73, 70, 72, 90, 80, 60. Uh, especially if it's for like entries, especially if it's for entries, because you you can't perfect an entry. And I had an idea today. I was like, okay, let me set up my parameters and put in my buys and my stop losses and everything. And I did that, and I did not like the way that could have, turned out. Because I even went under what I thought it was gonna go. You know, so like that's a no go. There's a lot of rules and there's a lot of laws when it comes to trading, day trading, and when there's a law, you know, you don't have a voice. It's the law. There's no judge, no jury, no one to tell you that it's the law. Your fine will come in the form of you losing your capital. That is your fine. It's also a part of tuition. That's also part of tuition. Mm. Yeah, this is just a setup for tomorrow. I'm gonna get off of here soon. Um, I don't think I'm gonna watch that much of this. My trading has been finished for like an hour, hour and a half now. I just wanted to see up until this point. I did want to watch Trump. Trump was supposed to come on at 11, but every time he's supposed to come on at a time, he comes on like an hour later. Um, it's crazy. So, and I think the market is probably waiting for that, and they know that. So that's a small part of market manipulation because there's no reason why he shouldn't have been on right now. He's supposed to be on at 11. I'm pretty sure it was 11. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's he's always been late. But if you're watching, I hope to see you tomorrow morning. I'll be on 9:15. Finish up some notes, some homework. We can check out our levels, and if we see a good opening for direction for the day, then we're gonna ride that. Now this is gonna be Friday. Friday rules are definitely in play. It's gonna be a payday somewhere. It's gonna be wild somewhere. It's Friday. And that's coming off of yesterday's high, today's low. 669. All right, so we're still within that range. You know, I don't know if we're going to hit 753 today, but we're going to hit around it. I think we hit around it and we gap up into tomorrow. But I would rather us not gap up. I would rather us struggle today. I would rather struggle today, gap down tomorrow. We finish 673. I hope we open 673 and we gap down to 671 back here to like these levels. Yeah. And then they let us run. But I don't know. We play price. You know, we're not a bear, we're not a bull. You know, these numbers, I can hit 200% on a call or hit 200% on a put. That 200% is 200%. That's money. I'll take it. I'll take it. What am I going to do? I was late for breakfast. I don't know. I'm going to go eat something. Well, good luck in your trading. I'll be on tomorrow morning. We made money today. We made profit. We killed Nvda. We hit 200% on Nvidia, but that was just I had three of those contracts, and I had a couple of contracts with other ones. So the other ones hit 100 and some change too. So you know, I'm just saying 200% because that's just the highest contract like I sold today. That's it. That's the only thing. That's the only reason why I say that because of that. The White House press conference was to start at 11. Oh, it's on now. All right, I'm out of here. I'm listening to it. I'm out. Good luck. Watch out.